This past Wednesday, Florida's Trump-loving Republican Governor Ron DeSantis headed out to Salt Lake City, Utah, for a meeting of the American Legislative Exchange Council, Alec, one of the worst right-wing organizations to ever exist in the United States. He goes to this Alec event in Utah, far away from his state of Florida, and he boasts during a 15-minute speech about not going along with the new CDC mask guidelines that say even if you're vaccinated, time to mask up again because the Delta variant is running so rampant here in the United States. DeSantis bragged about the fact that he's not going along with any school closures. Hell no, he says. Our kids are going back to school, even though Florida now accounts for 20% of new COVID cases here in the United States. We are the hotbed, we are the epicenter, and our idiot governor flees the state to go brag to a gaggle of uber conservatives about how he's letting us die. Those may not be the words that he used, but folks, that is what he is bragging about because that is what he is doing here. He is letting us die. Scrolling through the news again this morning, see more stories every day of anti-vaxxers, of Trump supporters dying from COVID, from the Delta variant. One of them, the last text they sent their wife before they died was, "I should have gotten the damn vaccine." That was the exact text. "I should have gotten the damn vaccine." So a lot of these folks that are dying right now are the anti-vaxxers. They are the Trump supporters. They're the people keeping people like Ron DeSantis in office, and he is over there in Salt Lake City having a good time, drinking, schmoozing, sucking up to these corporate donors, and his constituents are dying. And by the way, as reported earlier last week, he made the announcement before his trip to Utah, of course, that if anyone, city, municipality, county, tried to enact any kind of mask mandates in their area, he would strike them down with a vengeance. But luckily, there's a couple of mayors here in the state of Florida that aren't listening to his idiotic threat. It was reported shortly after this speech in Salt Lake City that several Florida mayors in some of the most populous cities in the state of Florida, including some in Orange County, which is where you have all your theme parks and everything here in Florida, have said, we're going back to mask mandates. And I dare DeSantis to come and strip that away from us. We have to protect our people. We have to do something. The Delta variant, the COVID, virus in general, this is real. This is happening. People are dying. We're the worst state in the country for it, and we're going to do something. We're going to step up and take leadership because Ron DeSantis isn't, and I dare you to strip us of that ability. And that's a smart move by these people. Florida schools are about to reopen for the year. My wife, actually, educator, she goes back full-time tomorrow as her first day back. Kids go back a week after that. No mask mandates, no mask requirements whatsoever, no social distancing, no more contact tracing for the children in the schools. And all my kids are not old enough to get the vaccine yet, so it's terrifying. There's no more remote learning, so your kids have to go to school here in Florida. And some of them are going to die. Like, that's inevitable. That's inevitable at this point. I've also been told horror stories by other teachers that most of their schools have fewer than 50% of the faculty vaccinated. Now, I can only speak for the teachers at several different schools that I've spoken to right here in my deep red county. It's likely different elsewhere in the state, but it's terrifying. And Ron DeSantis is doing nothing. He's traveling the country, hobnobbing, campaigning in front of these Alec people so they give him money so he can fuel his future, political ambitions, whatever that may be, getting their advice on how to come back and run the state because that's what Alec does. They actually draft legislation, hard right legislation, hand it over to the states, and the states just pass it, put their names on it, and let it go. This is sick. People are dying because of Ron DeSantis' inaction. And as I mentioned with those mayors that are putting the mask mandates in place, and DeSantis, of course, has said he's going to strike all those down, that's setting up a massive legal fight. A massive legal fight that is likely not going to go the way that DeSantis thinks it is. Most likely, the end result is that the courts are going to strike down any DeSantis rule that undoes the local rules, proving to his followers that he may not be the all-powerful leader that he would like to be. And just maybe in the process, maybe we'll save a few lives as a result.